Hey there guys, welcome back to the Happy Hour House of Horror. We got even more Friday the 13th comics for you tonight. Specifically, we're going to be talking about the two-parter from Avatar for Jason vs. Jason X. This was published between March and June of 2006, and it's got story and art by Mark Wolfer. This one picks up exactly where the Jason X special left off. We learn that in addition to launching Jason or Uber Jason into space on the escape pod in that issue, which in turn landed him on a pleasure yacht, more on that later, they also jettisoned the lab section of the ship, which contained the nanobot station that upgraded Jason to Uber Jason to begin with, as well as a nice chunk of Jason's head that was severed and left behind. When some deep space scavengers come along and power up this section of the ship so they can open the airlock and come inside, it jostles this chunk of Jason's head. It lands on the nanobot station, which is now turned on, and using a corpse left behind in the section of the ship to reconstruct Jason's body. So it effectively recreates classic Jason. He goes about slaughtering the scavengers and hitching a ride with the one survivor to this pleasure yacht. Nice coincidence there, where he is in turn able to get inside and come face to face with Uber Jason. And naturally, there can be only one Jason, so they just start fucking each other up. Absolutely lives up to any hype you might have going into this. It's fucking badass. I would actually probably say this battle between them was almost cooler than the fight in the Freddy vs. Jason movie. Just my opinion, though. Anyway, they battle their way through this pleasure yacht in space pretty fucking awesomely. At one point, they're even using, like, guests as human shields as they're hacking at each other and shit. It's fucking amazing. They're just kicking ass all through this motherfucker while this girl, the scavenger chick that brought classic Jason aboard, is trying to warn everybody, but it turns out half of them are like robots and the other half are too stupid to know they should panic. So naturally she ends up being like the only person left alive, basically, along with this android chick, and they crash land the fucking ship down on the planet where the battle continues, just pretty much evenly matched the whole time. If I were to give an upper hand to anybody through the bulk of the fight, it would be classic Jason, which was nice to see. But inevitably, Uber Jason wins out, tears off his fucking head, rips his face off, pulls out his brain, stuffs it in this gash that classic Jason left on the side of his skull, effectively absorbing classic Jason into himself so they become one entity. And that's it, really. You know, the two girls fucked off into the woods as soon as the ship crash landed, so they're out there somewhere, presumably to be killed by Jason at a later date. And he's just kind of basking in his victory, enjoying the fact that he's now whole again, and I guess having a little internal conversation with his mom, but that's nothing new. Not a ton to say about this, but that's not at all a bad sign. It's just brief, straight to the point, does exactly what it's trying to do. It's not trying to like really expand the lore of Jason at all. It's more of really just an awesome what if Jason fought, you know, the other version of himself. And it delivers 10 times over, in my opinion. I also do got to give a nod to Mark Wolfer for showing that, you know, not only can he draw his ass off, but he can write a lot better than Brian Pulido was doing. Not that that guy didn't cut the mustard, but he just wasn't as good as Mark Wolfer. There's something about the whole delivery of the Jason listening to his mom in his head gimmick and it coming from the two different versions of Jason but being identical, and the way he played that with his art was just awesome. It's worth reading this just for that. So get your ass out there, give it a look. Trust me, you won't regret it.